Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I'm going to take a few minutes just to talk to you about inventory. Going to talk about why it matters to grow your inventory, how to grow your inventory, how to have good sales while you are building your inventory. Okay, so that being said, let me just start by saying more inventory, the more sales you're going to have. It's just kind of a real simple equation. The more you have the opportunity to sell, right? I want to start also with a reminder that as a LuLaRoe consultant, you bought a small business, okay? You are now a clothing retailer. And most small businesses, it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years to see a profit. And if you see a profit in that time, you're probably pretty excited about it, right? There's typically a much larger investment, and typically 3 to 5 years is a very typical expectation of when you could turn a profit or see a profit. Sarah and I sold a business about 4 years ago, and that was kind of the numbers that we used to come up with the price was kind of that 2.5 times. So 2.5 years is what it would take that person to see their money back. The reason I bring that up, I'm not telling you 3 to 5 years is how long it should take you with LuLaRoe to see a profit, to pay yourself. But what I will say is take as long as humanly possible without a salary, without paying yourself. Try and take as long as possible. Some people say, 90 days, 3 to 4 months, don't pay yourself, just constantly reinvest and grow your inventory. I just watched a training video. A guy who's been doing this probably about 2.5, 3 years, and for the first 18 months, they didn't pay themselves a dime. Okay, they now sell over $50,000 a month. So 18 months is when they started taking some money from the business. Two other consultants I met at conference a few months back, they each sell over $100,000 a month. And after talking with them, kind of one-on-one after their training, the biggest difference between what they're doing and what we're doing, and what most LuLaRoe consultants try to do, is their inventory. The guy asked me, I said, hey, I feel like I'm doing X, Y, and Z right. I'm doing a few things right, but if you could give me any advice, what would be one difference? He said, well, how big is your inventory? And I said, anywhere from 900 to 1,200 at any given time. And he said, okay, well, I have over 5,000 pieces, and so you just need to grow your inventory. Okay. Now I'll be really honest with you. Sarah and I have not grown our inventory the way that we should. I tried to quit my job way prematurely, much earlier than I should have. So we've lived off of our profits from LuLaRoe, and that's what's held us back from growing our inventory. Surprise, surprise, right? So this past week was my first week back to work, kind of full time, because we're really committed to having really high sales numbers. Okay, and we feel like the biggest component that's missing from us reaching those goals or reaching those sales numbers is just our inventory. So it's not that, what I don't want you to hear is if you have a ton of inventory, miraculously you're going to have a bunch of sales. That's just one of the factors. In order to have really high sales numbers, you just have to have more stuff. You have to have more inventory. Okay. In addition to selling a lot and making a lot of money from a customer standpoint, just think about it. You should have a deep inventory, because when your customers come to your shop, whether that's in person or it's on Facebook or wherever you're selling, how fun is it to see 3 Julias in your size, right? Or 3 Perfect Tees in your size, versus shopping with a consultant that has 15 in your size, right? There's a different level of fun, right? And a different level of excitement when there's a deep inventory that people get to see. So you need to be in the habit of ordering frequently, and that way your customers will be excited about seeing new stuff and coming back to your page. Okay. Now, excuse me, I have a little allergy thing going on. So when you first start, unless you're really lucky and you have a ton of cash to invest initially a great amount to get a really deep inventory, you're just not going to have a huge inventory, and that's okay. So how do you still have big sales numbers? I think the most important thing to have really good sales and have a small inventory is to be diverse in how you sell. Okay, every single week, selling multiple ways. And what I mean by that is if you're selling online and you're selling through Facebook through a VIP page, you should do that once a week at least, maybe more. Maybe you're going to go live on your page also, but you should be selling once a week consistently. You should have an in-person event, whether that's a hostess party, someone's hosting your inventory at their house, or you're having an open house at your house, or you're doing a vendor event. Okay, so you need to have something on your page, on your Facebook page if you're going to sell online. You need to be doing something in person. And then I think you should be doing a multi-event also every single week, just selling diverse in 3 different avenues at least. Maybe you're doing Periscope, maybe you're doing Facebook Live, but sell in different ways because it'll speak to different people. By being diverse and by selling to selling different ways, what that's going to do is that's going to put new eyes on your inventory. Okay, in person, a 300 piece inventory, it looks like a lot. It's a lot of pieces when you're in person. Maybe when you're on Facebook, it doesn't look that big, right? But the idea is to continue to get your inventory that you do have, whether that's 300 pieces or 3,000, get it in front of different eyes because it's all new to them. Okay, so staying diverse in how you sell different ways. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So be diverse, no new eyes. Oh, the one thing I was going to say too is if you're selling only on Facebook, let's say you have a VIP page, you can't continuously show your page the same inventory. Okay, so say you onboard with 350 pieces and you sell 30, and the next week you come back with 320. And then you sell 20, and the next week you come back with the same 300. You're going to see diminished sales. I know it sounds silly, of course you would, but some people do that. They're not reinvesting in their business. They're taking money out, or they're just not buying new inventory. They're not getting new pieces in, and so you need to either rotate the same inventory between different eyes, new eyes, or you need to continuously be adding to your inventory. Okay, so how to grow your inventory. It's very, very simple. If you finance your LuLaRoe startup money, whether that's through credit cards or a loan or whatever the case may be, as long as you can do it. Everyone's been paying their bills up to this point. No one's doing LuLaRoe because they need to make a water payment the next week, right? Or electrical payment or your mortgage payment. Most people, this is hey, I want to stop doing what I've been doing for years and I want to do this full time. For most people, it's, hey, I want to make an extra $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 a month, whatever it is for you, right? So if you've been making your bills, you've been doing what you've needed to do for your family up to this point, as long as humanly possible, don't take any money out of LuLaRoe. Okay, so what that could look like, let's just say, you have $1,000 in sales. You have a pop-up party online, you sell $1,000. What I would tell you to do is make your minimum payment, okay, towards your credit card, towards your loan, whatever it is, and let's say it's $100. Right, so out of that $1,000, $100 goes to your minimum payment, and then say you save $150 for taxes. Now, I'm not a tax guy. Talk to a tax professional. I'm just throwing out random numbers. But at $1,000 in sales, $150 for taxes would probably be about 30% of your profit. Again, talk to a tax professional. Okay, so let's say 100 went to your minimum payment, 150 went to taxes. That leaves $750 to reinvest. Every one of those dollars should be reinvested in inventory. Okay. Now there's 3 layers to ordering inventory. The first would be just replacing what you sold. Okay, and that's kind of your bare minimum. Your car exploded, your washer and dryer, they took a dump or whatever the case may be, and you had to pull out money from LuLaRoe. Well, at a bare minimum, you have to replace what you sold. Okay, so that's the first layer of ordering inventory, is just replacing what you sold. The second layer would be going deeper in your inventory. And so what I mean by that is not adding new styles, right, and getting spread wide with your inventory, but going deep in what you already have. So a good first goal to have is having 10 items in every single size, in every style that you carry. So if you're carrying Julia's, you have 10 extra smalls, 10 extra smalls, 10 smalls, 10 mediums, and so on. And so for all of the styles that you currently carry or that you start off with, you need to at least get to 10 in every single one of those before I would recommend adding a new style. Okay? So that's what's going deep. You want to get deep on what you already have. Okay. From there, you can add styles, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that. That's kind of the third layer in ordering inventory, is adding styles. For us currently, our goal is to get to 20 of everything that we carry before we start to add new styles. It's just something that we want to do. So, 20 extra small Julias and so on. When you're adding a new style, so you're getting into that third layer of ordering inventory, don't make a new style available until you have at least 6 in each size. Okay, when Joys came out, LuLaRoe put a 40-piece minimum if somebody wanted to offer Joys. They did that because from a retailer standpoint, they know that that's the right way to offer something new. They're not going to allow a consultant to come in and buy 4 Joys in 4 different sizes, and then their customers come and shop, and it's just not a good offering. Okay, so at least 6 in every single size. is what I would recommend, at least, to offer something new. So if you want to add perfects, you can add perfects one of two ways. One is you can save up a bunch of dollars and order perfects all at one time, 6 in each style. Or every time you order, right, you're replacing orders, you're going deep in your order 2 extra small perfects, order 2 small perfects, order 2 small mediums, or medium perfects, I should say, until you get to that point where you feel comfortable and you feel like it's a good offering for your page and for your customers. Does that make sense? Hopefully no one's answering. It's a recorded video on YouTube, so I don't know why I just asked you if it makes sense. Okay, so we're at about 10 minutes. So real quick with inventory, guys, more inventory, more sales. That's just kind of the deal. Customers like to see new inventory. They like to see deep inventory because it's fun to shop a deep closet, right? If you go into a Target, you go into some store, and there's 3 items on the shelf, it doesn't look good, right? Those 3 items look lonely, they look sad, and people aren't going to buy them. Okay, so you need to treat this, like you're a retailer. Okay, you bought a small business. That's the deal. This could be a hobby. That's fine. This could be a business, a very big business if you choose to. That's okay. Whatever you're treating it as, know that one component to being really successful, however that is defined by you, is having a big inventory or having a good inventory for your customers to shop. Okay, don't pay yourself as long as you possibly can. Constantly reinvest into your inventory, because long-term sustainability in this business, it's going to take a deep inventory to do that. What am I missing? Be diverse, right? We talked about being diverse in how you sell. Make sure you're selling in all kinds of different avenues. Online, live, in person, okay, multi-events, be diverse. That'll help your get new eyes on all of your items. Okay, hopefully that was halfway helpful. If you need anything, if you have questions, obviously let myself or Sarah know. Thank you for watching this, and have a great day.